Hello everyone, Tiny Chip is here, and we are back with Twisted Wonderland, the masquerade one. What am I doing? Anyway, so we're going to start with the next episode. Alright. I'm messing around right now with Genshin real quick. Just because I just wanted to make sure I got all the rewards for it. And whatnot. Waterway. Okay, but like, I kind of think he was targeting Malleus from the start. It's entirely possible. Malleus is the foremost among the mages at our school and the rest of the world, really. It wouldn't surprise me if the social was a smokescreen orchestrated for the sole purpose of bringing down Malleus. So this whole time, the social was just bait. To catch the biggest fish of all, Malleus. I believe you both made your point abundantly clear. You can stop hammering it home now. Malleus, are you okay? He's been frowning this whole time. I can't blame him. I mean, you could say that we were all dragged into this mess because of him. Maybe he feels responsible? The whole discussion about Rollo's intentions is purely speculation on our part. Even if it were true, Malleus has broken no rules. He has no reason to feel guilty. I know how that sounds, but Mr. Zero Taskmaster Riddler. It's not just empty constellations. He's probably said the same thing if he were in Malleus' shoes. True, though. I don't get the sense Riddle or Malleus or that understanding. Something like this wouldn't make either of them feel guilty. Oh, there are flowers behind Malleus. More of them? What pertriferous plants? Malleus, get away. Malleus? Now I see. Everything he said was a lie. Oh, this is very bad. Malleus is very angry. Angry? I thought he was sad. The social, the personal invitation to me, is all pure deception. A ploy to lure me into a trap. You'll pay for this. You will pay, Rollo Flammy. He mad. He a mad boy. Oh, jeez. He is big mad. There, you see, remind me, he was bought at the silly notion that he was a sucker who felt guilty. Oh, royal dragons. What an English cry he has. It makes my heart tremble. I don't think that's your heart trembling. It's literally the ground. Malleus was overjoyed to be personally invited to the social. He insisted on making extra preparations and reading everything he could about Flora City. Yes, and he eagerly counted down the days until our trip by marking them on the calendar. Now that all his hopes have been dashed, his sorrow must be unfathomable. Oh, what a hearting sight. God, my fucking butt hurts. I've got my leg in a weird-ass position and it was hurting. We're in mortal danger, and that's what he's mad about? I thought I'd been issued a genuine invitation. You shall pay dearly for this. Eep. Everything's all rumbly. Oh, no. Yes? Nah, I won't worry about it. Say it isn't so. I feel like that's from a song somewhere. I don't know what, though. I need to wrap that up. We'll worry about it later. My first standing on end. It's Static City over here. He's radiating so much power I can't move. Feels as though anyone who took a step towards him right now would get sent flying back. Seize this at once, Draconia. All this power will draw in more flowers. Keep cool, Horton. Look, more flowers. Scores of them. Malleus, please stop. You're putting all of us in danger. These weeds. That boy. They will all rue the day they mocked me. Whoa. Cough, cough, splurted. They kicked up so much dirt, I got a bunch of it in my mouth. I can't see out with all this dust. What incredible power. Deuce, everyone, are you alright? Yeah, I think so. But what about Malleus? After that burst of power, the flowers must have devoured him. Oh no. No, say it ain't so. Malleus! What? Huh? You're safe? I'm perfectly fine, as you can see. Geez, don't scare us like that. How could you be fine after all those flowers swarmed you? My word. Everyone, look around Malleus. What's this now? The fire lotuses are wilted? Huff. I'm glad we're all safe and sound, but Draconia, how could you forget yourself in a fit of pique? Have I not repeatedly outlined how Night Raven College students are expected to remain calm and maintain proper decorum? Ah, my liege is safe. Oh, if anything had happened to you, I don't know what I would have done, sniff. Malleus, I must ask that you never give in to your anger and expose yourself to danger like that again. It's like, When I saw the rest of you in panic, it helped calm me down somewhat. Mental note, never make Malleus mad, like ever. Oh, Ida, you're in for a rough awakening. Agreed, I like being alive, thank you very much. But why did the flowers wilt? Draconia, care to explain what you did? It wasn't intentional. I simply unleashed my full magical might. It wasn't intentional? But the fire lotus leaves are clearly drooping. Some of them have yellowed as well. Something damaged them. I've seen similar things happen to plants back home in the Scully Sands. The temperature drastically differs during the day than it is at night. When someone sets out a plant during the day, forgets to bring them in at night, frost forms on them and they wilt like this. Frost, you say, considering Malleus' power is possible. Perhaps you might freeze them when you unleashed your might? I don't recall doing anything of sort. Then how? You know, I think I know what happened. What was that, Fleming? Have you identified the cause? Yes, sir. I think so. The same thing happens to some veggie seedlings I was growing back home. Going back just the symptoms, it looks like frost had got them, like this Jamal described, but when I looked into them more, I found out it wasn't frost at all. The seedlings had wilted because of fertilizer burn. Fertilizer burn? Yep, too much fertilizer can mess with a plant's roots. It can cause them to decay or get all misshapen. I bet the roots of these flowers look the same. See here? The roots of the flowers you just pulled out are blackened and Exactly, I think that's what wilted the flower lotuses. Try Ben. What fantastic knowledge you've shown, Ipple. I couldn't be more proud of my fellow dormmate. Oh, it's just because I grew up on an orchard around lots of plants and stuff. I beg to differ. That was an incisive insight drawn from personal experience. Fine work, Fleming. The fire lotus absorbed all kinds of magic. In this case, they eagerly devoured all the power Draconia radiated. And as a result, they became overnourished and decayed naturally. Basically, they ate too much, got too full, and decayed because they were too stuffed. Like when you overwater a plant. Well, that makes dealing with them way easier. If our esteemed companion here just unleashes one more of his absolutely powerful spells, we could make all the lotus flowers in towns wilt at once, right? Sounds easy enough to me. I'm afraid that's not feasible. Unfortunately, most of my power was absorbed during our initial encounter with the flowers in the lecture hall. What? Oddly reassuring. Fire City's waterway. Are you alright, sir? I'm not under any great strain, but it will take longer than usual for me to cast spells. When we fell into the waterway, I tried to safeguard you as my friend can't use magic. But I couldn't control my magic as normal. I couldn't even levitate as I usually can. It will take some time for me to recover. My powers alone won't be enough to eliminate the fire lotuses in the city as things stand. Makes sense. These flowers aggroed Malleus right away in the lecture hall. Yes, it's only because of Malleus that he's still standing right, because he's Malleus' sword right now. Any other mage would have long since been sucked dry if that many flowers had gotten them at once. Those wretched plants, impartial knows no bounds. It might not be feasible with just Malleus, but what if we all combine our magic? Who, us? Are you serious? Okay, let me give you a metaphor. If Malleus' magic power is a 25-meter pool, each of us would be a water bottle. No, not even that. We'll be a bottle's cap worth. The rest of us combined couldn't even reach half his power. Pooling our magic for some fancy combo attack, please. We're a drop in the bucket compared to him. I wouldn't describe my power that generously. No, he's right. You possess immense. Oh shit! I actually pushed the thing. Immense power, Malleus. We could never hold a candle to you. This isn't a competition, but the point does stand. Then I guess we gotta stick to weeding them the old-fashioned way. Out of the question. It's hard enough to clear the ones around here. We couldn't cover the whole city. We'd never be able to keep up with how fast they spread that way. The flowers would swarm us in seconds, and we'd be like laying out a banquet for them. Then what else can we do? Oh, what if we burn them without using magic? That'll take care of them fast. Deuce, you know how far they spread throughout the town? If we set them on fire, the flames will spread and burn the whole city. That'll be just as bad. Oh, right. Can we ask Night Riven College and others outside the city for help? There are still unconscious students in the lecture hall, you know. Their magic is being sapped as we speak. If we don't act fast, the flowers will drain them and their magic completely, and they'll never regain it. Judging by how rapid... Okay. So, here's what I find stupid right now. Because I thought this was completely stupid. And its excuse was also completely stupid. But I'll read it in a bit. Judging by how rapidly I could feel my own powers being drained, we have hours at most. We can't afford to wait for help. We can't allow one man's nonsense to deprive those young students of their futures. We have to do something. I don't know. I mean, I personally couldn't care less what happened to the Royal Soda guys. Yeah, they kind of bought it on themselves. We could just go home right now. You fools, don't you realize why you're still even standing? It's because Royal Sword Academy students sacrifice themselves so you can make it out unscratched. To think that you would turn your back on them so easily. Sniff, oh, where did I go wrong teaching you? I've always expunged the importance of decorum, and yet... Whoa, Tyrion's crying? Dude, apologize to him, Ruggy. Wait, me? What are you... What? You said... Was way worse. You're both terrible. There are many victims left unconscious with the flowers indiscriminately draining their magic. Right now, the blooms are still within the city's limits, but they will spread further before long. And when that happens, they'll endanger those we care about. Professor Tyrion is right. It falls to us to wipe out the fire lotuses. Yes, I suppose so. Well, I also don't care about anyone from Royal Sword Academy. I can't stand the notion of leaving a debt unpaid. Okay, fair. It bugs me a ton of those sparkly normies saved us, and we don't even... You're also right, Uzzle. You gotta pay back debts in kind. That's the spirit. The last thing I need is them invoicing us for medical expenses because they saved us. Besides, gentlemen, think about it. We could have a whole brewery of mages in our debt. How could we possibly let such a golden opportunity slip through our fingers? Here we go with Essel's bizarre idea that it's okay to take an L if you get some kind of dub out of it. That's not a healthy mindset, you know. Bizarre, I resent that. I only do this sort of thing when I expect an ample return. It's called an investment. It's only reassuring how your priorities never change, Ethel. I show all your sentiment. I haven't the slightest intention of walking away from this affair. I wouldn't be satisfied until I can strike down Rollo Flemmy for deceiving me. Absolutely. I couldn't possibly leave the city until he grovels before you and begs for your forgiveness, my liege. Agreed. We need to teach Rollo that what he's doing isn't right. So let us put our heads together and think of a plan to save everyone. Save something about the word is Nagimi. What's up? I take it you connected the dots as well? We're all making this much harder than it needs to be. The fastest way to eradicate the fire lotus is to immune them with magic until they wilt. But as we established, our group doesn't have the power to do that on our own. So we just use an alternative power source. I would say what it is, but we're about to find out in like 2 seconds. So what's the point in saying it? Real convincing, bub. Oh, you know what? I should probably text my sister. But I'll probably do that as soon as I'm done with this episode. The fastest way to eradicate the fire lotus is to imbue them with magic curling until they wilt. But as we established, our group doesn't have the power to do. Alternate. But who could we turn to for such power when practically all the mages in the city are incapacitated? And there are few mages with magical reserves on par with our own. We have to gather hundreds of them. I'm surprised you still don't get it. Dude, Malleus, you're powerful and all, but seriously? All magic pools to be all and end all to you. I don't peg you as an unga bunga brute force kind of guy. Did you just mock my liege? Look, I mean, come on. If you can't do something yourself, wouldn't you normally use a tool of some kind to do the job done? Get the job done. Isn't using tools to make things easier the mark of intelligent life? Tools? There's a real handy one just begging to be used, you know. A magical artifact that sends magic all over the city. All over the Bell of Solace. Bingo! Hee hee. Remember what Rollo said when we first got attacked in the lecture hall? When the Bell of Solace rang a 4th time, it suffused the city with magic. Cue smug face emoji. Normally the bell rings 3 times a day, so Rollo rang it a 4th time and amped up the magic and to make the flowers grow like wildfire. Of course, you're right. All the flowers popped up in the lecture hall immediately after the bell rung, which means... Now you got it. 1 extra ring is enough to make the flowers grow super fast. So if we ring it a bunch and fill the city with even more magical power, what do you think is going to happen to all those precious flowers you spent so long carefully cultivating? The city would be even more saturated with magic, and the flowers would get overwhelmed and wilt. To think that's what caused them to flourish would also be their demise. It's exactly like Ethel described of fertilizer burn. So we'll supply the necessary magic with the tool rather than our own power. It's true that I normally never consider that kind of option. There are a few instances where my magic isn't significant for a task. Wish I could say that once in my life. Very well. Let us head to the Bell of Solace and ring it right now. I think not. All of you are to wait here. Huh? So, I hate how they were like in this thing where, oh, we can't call anybody because, it'll take too long. Okay? And you can still, even if you're going to do something right now, you could call somebody and be like, hey, there's shit going down. You need to be on standby. Since we're here, we're going to try to do something. But fuck, we're going to need you standing outside with the fucking fire torch or something. I will climb the bell tower and ring the Bell of Solace. Since we've cleared this area of Fire Lotus, it's safer than anywhere else. Oh, you can stay here until the bell has rung. Professor Tyrion, you shouldn't strain yourself. What do you mean by that? He's been stooped over this whole time. My father does the same thing when his back hurts. Wait, so he hurt his back? Must have been from all the weeding. I have not. Yeah, real convincing, bub. Professor, why would you push yourself like that? You should have told us you're in pain. He has his pride as a professor. It's only natural he wouldn't want his students to see him in a moment of weakness. So you're just trying to save face? Come on, Professor. Pride ain't worth a single sword. But the Bellasaur is on the top floor of the tower. The way up is bound to be infested with fire lotuses. It will be dangerous getting up there. Will you make our case for us, Tyrion? You would climb the stairs far too slowly since you're in pain. The flowers would consume you in seconds. Allow us to handle this. Please do. We're not afraid of danger. We've learned from the best after all. I don't like where this is going. This is gonna end with us having to climb the tower, isn't it? Unfortunately. Oh, and that's another thing. Like, so the guys... Yeah, I only got like fucking 7 minutes. Wait, am I at 7 or am I at 16? So yeah, I'm about, like, this is what happens when I wait until last minute to do this. But it's whatever. Where should we begin? This is straining representation of the story of the righteous judge and the kindly bell ringer. I'm sure the righteous judge was incredibly worried about the kindly bell ringer was trying to avert the catastrophe. But he chose to have faith in his dear pupil and let him go, and so the city was saved. As your teacher and chaperone, I much prefer if you didn't endanger yourselves. But I suppose I must have faith as the great man once did. You can rest assured that we shan't disappoint. Worry not, Professor Tyrion, for I shall protect Malleus. Mind giving us a little of that protection too? I'm sorry for Selbig's lack of manners. You all have my protection, of course. It's fine. We should be all looking out for ourselves anyway. That's how I prefer it. If you're worried, Ruggy, you could always stay behind with Professor Tyrion. None of us would hold it against you. Oh, in that case, maybe I should. I wasn't speaking to you as a house warden. It's your responsibility to help. Actually, I'm going to eat the mages in town once you set off. Wait, what? But the city's overwhelmed with flowers. It's too dangerous. Professor, you'll hurt your back. Did you not? You should lie down and put some ice on it. I suddenly feel decades older. Don't worry, climbing those stairs might be too much for me, but I can handle getting rid of some flowers. Professor, I know you're quite capable, but I do question whether you're ready to be safe in town. Well, it's all up to your or other concerned, you, Grim. Since you have no magic pool, speaking of, the flowers present no danger to you, and Grim, you're nimble and could easily avoid the flowers. I'd like both of you to join me in helping the townspeople. Oh man, you really asking me? I don't know. Sure, gotta take care of my elders after all. I don't get your wording there, but I choose to believe you meant well. That leaves you, Grim. Grim, are you gonna let you hog all the spotlight? If the three of you save the city, you'll probably be celebrated as heroes like the kindly bell ringer. Isn't that right? I can hear them cheering now. Squeal, Grim, you're the coolest who ever lived. Marha, okay. We all know it's true, but you're making me blush. Okay, fine. Guess someone's gotta bail out Wriggly old Tyrion and my henchman. Oh boy. So either it's go for the bell or help in town. Both sound rough. In that case, I guess I'll better suck it up and stick with Team Bell Tower. Oh, well, I appreciate you changing your attitude, but why choose us? More human shields. The more people there are, the better my odds of survival are. Exactly what I expect from you, Ruggy. You never disappoint. You know what? I can respect how Ruggy's always get up for number one. Not looking forward to tingling with those stairs again, but I'm thinking along the same lines. Might as well come with. I'm coming as well. There's no telling what kind of grief I'll get later if I just stay here. Besides, I can't let that slurmy villain get away with mocking us like that. Our school's honor is on the line. You bet I'm going to go with Bell Group. I don't run from fights. I'm going to make sure that Punk's gets it for everyone who hear it. Yeah, for sure. He's going to regret springing a trap on us. I'll destroy every last Fire Lotus and wipe that smug smirk off Rollo's face. Deuce, Apple, well said. Avenging every insult personally in Night Raven College's way. We shall crush Flammer ourselves. Indeed, let us ring the bell of Solus and reclaim the beautiful Flower City. Alright, everyone, listen up. Flame used the bell of Solus to propagate the flowers, so there's no way he hasn't considered this possibility. He's bound to be on the top floor of the tower, safeguarding the bell. He's an expert mage, so I advise you to proceed with extreme caution. We're not going to lose to some grandiose mage clinging to an extinct relic of a flower. Please don't insult us. Instead, I suggest you begin thinking of a suitable reward for when we all return. I will put a stop to all this scheming. Where shall I begin? Just you wait, Flaming. We will face one another soon enough. Okay. So, here's the thing. I only have 2 minutes. I finished the 3rd book. Oh. What did I do? Wrong one. So, I have book 4 and 5 to do. And I can always, go through this, off of the thing. Though, while I will be able to read the chapters, I will not be able to do any of the battles, so I can just basically read it that way. So, I'm just going to do this real quick. Just kind of give you guys a view of where everything is. And kind of where it pops up. Just because I feel like this is probably the only way you're going to see any of this. So that way, hopefully you guys can remember where everything takes place in. And I just got booted up. Alright then. So yeah, we'll end this episode here. And I guess next time we'll go through the archives so that way we can continue this. Because that's the only way we're going to get the last bit of it. So, yeah, for now, Tiny Such a Bees is setting out.